Legends say that the priests of Karnak Temple saw a vision, a man who would rule Egypt for decades and whose image would live on for thousands of years. Shortly after, under a sky that rained out of season golden light over ancient Thebes, priests in white linen lifting a newborn Ramses II now shimmering in the background, sacred ibis birds flying overhead. From a young age, he never knew play like other children. Instead, he learned to ride chariots, master the art of war, and command men. Before he reached full manhood, destiny had already placed him on the battlefield, young Ramses practicing archery in a palace courtyard, chariots passing behind, military drums echoing in the distance. At 25, he led Egypt's army on the banks of the Orontes River, where Egypt clashed with the mighty Hittite Empire in the Battle of Kadesh. He was surrounded, nearly killed, yet he turned the tide of war and wrote his name in history as the first to forge a peace treaty in the world. Ramses II charging into battle on a golden chariot, enemies surrounding him, sun blazing through clouds of dust, arrows slicing through the air. But wars weren't enough for him. He decided to build his glory from stone. He constructed Abu Simbel and dedicated a temple to his beloved wife, Nefertari. So precisely that twice a year, the sun itself bows to him. Abu Simbel Temple with colossal statues of Ramses II glowing in the sunrise, a precise sunbeam illuminating the inner sanctuary. After more than 66 years on the throne, the sun of Ramses finally set, but his light never faded. His mummified body still lies before us, gazing as if waiting to rule once more. Mummy of Ramses II in a glass display, golden mask reflecting torchlight, shadow of a pharaoh's spirit looming over. Pharaohs, kings, queens, soldiers, slaves, gods, everything and everyone in ancient Egypt had one goal: to cheat death and live forever. Most of them failed, but today we stand before the only man who succeeded. Who is this? Why does he keep staring at me? And how did he cheat death, you might be wondering? Well, welcome back to our channel. I'm your host, and let's get started. The great pharaoh's real name was Usermatra, Seti Meritum, but we know him better by his Greek name, Ramses II. In ancient Egypt, the kings were considered gods on earth. So when the high priests of Amun at Karnak Temple claimed that a god had appeared to them in a dream, the people believed them. The priests said the god told them about a great leader who would unite Egypt and bring it to prosperity. They said his name would be Ramses, which means son of Ra, so when the king's son was born, they named him Ramses. The priests also said that Ramses would rule for 66 years and that he would become the greatest pharaoh of all time. Of course, no one could predict the future, but it seemed the gods had chosen Ramses to be their champion. When he was born, the sky rained heavily, a sign of divine favor. Even the Nile, which rarely flooded at this time of year, overflowed its banks, bringing rich silt that would ensure an abundant harvest. It seemed as if the gods themselves were celebrating the birth of this child. He grew up quickly and began to prepare for his role as pharaoh. Unlike most princes, he didn't spend his time playing games or partying. Instead, he took his royal duties seriously and studied hard. He learned how to ride a horse and drive a chariot, how to read and write, and most importantly, how to be a good leader. His tutors included some of the smartest men in Egypt, and they taught him everything they knew. They taught him how to fight and strategize, how to negotiate and make deals, and how to manage a kingdom. Ramses was a quick learner and absorbed all their knowledge like a sponge. By the time he was 14, he was already considered an expert in many areas, which was not surprising given his royal lineage. After all, his father was the legendary Pharaoh Seti I, who had ruled Egypt for 13 years before him. And his mother was Tuya, who was the daughter of a previous pharaoh. Ramses was born into royalty, but he didn't take his status for granted. He knew that being pharaoh was more than just a privilege, it was a responsibility. He knew he had to work hard to live up to the expectations of his people and his ancestors. So instead of wasting his time, he spent it learning and training. When Ramses was 16, his father, Seti I, went to war against the Hittites. This was a big deal because the Hittites were a powerful empire that had been threatening Egypt for years. Seti needed someone to watch over the kingdom while he was away, so he left Ramses in charge. At first, everyone thought this was a mistake. After all, Ramses was just a kid. But Seti had faith in his son, and he knew that Ramses would do a good job. And he did. While Seti was gone, Ramses kept the kingdom safe and secure. He dealt with any problems that came up and made sure everything ran smoothly. When Seti returned from war, he was impressed by how well Ramses had done, and it became clear that Ramses was ready to be pharaoh. And when Seti died a few years later, Ramses took over the kingdom. And as the priests had predicted, he became the greatest pharaoh of all time. He ruled for 66 years, and during that time, he did a lot. He fought many wars and expanded the Egyptian empire. He built huge temples and monuments, and he made Egypt the most powerful force in the ancient world. Now, obviously, there's way more to Ramses II's story than what can be covered in just a short video. If you want to learn more about him, definitely check out the links in the description below. There are some amazing resources for further learning. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mummies. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll not only stay updated on all our latest content, but you'll also help us continue making great videos for you. Don't wait. Click that subscribe button now and join our awesome community. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the mysteries of our world. Thanks for watching.